Okay? A lot of y'all seen this movie called The Spartans, 300. Okay? I want to go through some pages here that you're going to see. You're going to find out that the Spartans and those people were Israelites. This is by Frank Miller. You got to get the one by Frank Miller. Now, a lot of y'all know about this guy right here who played the Spartans. He played a good show. It was pretty good. But now we're going to see. This book that I got here, by the way, I bought this 4 years before the movie 300 even came out. And I was surprised at the images that he used in here. But I never put it together until the movie came out. So some more images of Leonidas right here. We're going to prove the Spartans were Israelites. They were black people, dark-skinned people. And they were of the 12 tribes. So being of the 12 tribes, some of them had straight hair, some of them had curly hair, some of them were light-skinned, dark-skinned, some of them might have been from Indian descent, North American Indian, Hispanic, because we were all in that land at that time. Let's go through this book and see how Frank Miller drew the Spartans and so why he drew them like this. As you see, you can see the braids right here of the Spartan warriors. You can see the L on the shield. All right? Look at this guy. Another Spartan warrior. Look, that's a black man right there. You see? Look at the guy got curly hair right there. Some had braids, some had twists, some had curly hair. Look at this right here. That's a brother right here. He could be a North American Indian. Hispanic, Latino. They was all together. Look at the L. We're going to go into what this L means later on. And who was this? Let's go up here. Sacred Sparta, okay? It was also called Laconia, all right? So we just go through a couple pages in this book. Here is, remember the story about the kid, Leonidas, when he was a young kid fighting the wolf? Notice he's a black man. So they got him brown skin here. Right here, another picture of him as a child. This is in the graphic novel of the boy. Here's some more Spartan warriors here. Get a picture of that. That's clearly a black man. Here's your Spartan brother. Brown-skinned man. That could be Mexican. It could be a Brazilian. It could be North American Indian. Because those are the 12 tribes. They were all together. It could be a black gypsy. Look at this guy right here. That could be a West Indian. That could be a Haitian. This Spartan right here. Okay? This is out of the book 300. How come the movie wasn't done like this? Okay? Let's go through some more pictures here. All right. More black pictures. Just skim through here. Black people, look at this. Look at this sister right here. Black folks. Clearly see their brown skin. Okay. Let's do some more brown skin pictures. Look at this right here. Picture of that. Brown skinned brothers. Look at this brother. He looked kind of Indian and Hispanic. These are Spartans. Not white folks. Okay. Let's go through some more here. Notice you keep seeing this L pop up on the shield. We're going to go into what that means. Okay. Look at this right here. Get a picture of that. That's a black man right there. They got that face. See? Mm-hmm. Now here's, remember this king, the Persian king, Darius. Now he was brown, he was all right, but now he's even blacker here in the movie. In the movie, he looked like he could be an Indian or something, you know. But the Persians were Indian-looking people, but some of them look like that. And he's showing them as a black man. You see, he was a Persian king. Here you go over here, a black man. And he showed you this in the movie, though, that the Spartans were black people. But I'm going to show you, Frank Miller knew something. And what it is, the history shows that the Spartans were dark-skinned people. They weren't white people like they portrayed them. Here's a boy again. Notice his leg is brown. He's showing him brown. It's clearly showing that this wasn't no pale white boy how they show you in the movie. Okay? So now let's go into why Frank Miller drew these pictures as black people. And how come they're not white? He knew something. He had to make them white for the movie. But we know why that is, because it wouldn't have got out there if he did it like that. Because the common lie is that the Spartans were white people. So he had to go along with the lie. But he did slide it up in here, this way for us who are seeking this knowledge. And through the Holy Bible is the book that we follow. You can't find this being in some of these religions you got on the earth. I ain't going to name them, but you can't go to any religion and find out what I'm about to show you now. Okay, let me find this page. Now look at this right here. Listen to the Bible now. It is found in writing. This is 1 Maccabees 12, 20 and 21. Arius, king of the Lacedaemonians, to Onias, the high priest, greeting. It is found in writing that the Lacedaemonians and Jews are brethren, and that they are of the stock of Abraham. So now you're seeing, this is the Apocrypha, by the way. This is part of the Bible. You can find the Apocrypha was once written in the Bible when King James had it translated from the Hebrew to the Greek. They took it out during slavery, but this is part of the Bible. So speaking about Jonathan, the Maccabee Israelite, writing to his Lacedaemonian brothers, who are also Israelites. Now let's see who the Lacedaemonians are. This is the New Annotated Oxford Bible with the Apocrypha, showing that this is how the Bible is written with the Apocrypha in it, which gives you continuing stories of Ezra in here, continuing stories of Esther, continuing stories of Ecclesiasticus as Ecclesiastes, the Maccabee stories, Judas. You're not going to find them in the Bible. You're going to find them in the Apocrypha, which also the word Apocrypha means hidden books. Now let's go to the same 1 Maccabees 12 and 20, and we're going in 20 and 21, and we're going to read how it's the same thing written in this Apocrypha here, but now this is an annotated one written with other names that mean the same thing. So it says, this is a copy of the letter that they sent to Onias. Judas and Onias sent this letter to King Arius of the Spartans, to the high priest Onias, greetings. It has been found in writing concerning the Spartans and the Jews that they are brothers and are the family of Abraham. So see how it's saying the same thing, but it's saying Lacedaemonians here. You see, it has been found in writing that the Lacedaemonians and Jews are brethren and they are of the stock of Abraham. It has been found that writing, which is the Bible, because the Spartans had the Bible, they've read their records, concerning the Spartans and the Jews that they are brothers and are the family of Abraham. Why is that? Well, let's see what happened here. It's another book, Modern Times and Living Past by Elson. Very old book, 1941. The older the book you get, I bought this on the street too. This used to be a standard reading in Southside Junior High School library. How come they ain't teaching this in school no more? Because the schools are about dumbing down the children now. They don't want them to learn this stuff. And this is on page 78. The mystical founder of Sparta was Lacedaemon, whose wife's name was Sparta. So now you're seeing here, Lacedaemon was the founder of Sparta, or the land there, and his wife's name was Sparta. So they named the land after him and his wife. You see, that's what the Spartans were, a black man and a black woman. So now, because we see the Spartans in the book were black people, we're going to go more into it. So this book tells you where this came from. All right? So let's go through the records. You're going to put it together yourself. This is an excerpt from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. You can get a line on this. You can go on the computer and look up Lacedaemon. Okay? You got that? Right. Just let you all just look at that. Now we're going to go to this excerpt, this guy, and this is other books too, but I got this one quick. The Spartans used the Greek letter lambda displayed on their shields as identification for their people. Lambda, L, was used as the Spartans to represent Lacedaemon, the home state of their people. So that's why I told you to be aware of these pictures. We've got the L, representing Lacedaemon, their founder and ancient leader of the Spartans, named after his wife, Sparta. You see? That's what the L represents. See the L right there? Lacedaemon, which is brothers, Spartans, brothers to the Jews, sons of Abraham. Let's go in this book, Oxford Bible Atlas, 3rd edition. Okay? Oxford, they're supposed to be smart people. They're supposed to be the ones that know everything. Oxford University Press. Let's go back here to this map. Get a little focus of that. This is ancient Greece. As you see, Lacedaemon, Sparta. Same thing, ancient Greece. See, it was also called Achaia. Achaia is a name of the ancient Greeks that fought against their arch rivals, the Trojans. We're going to get a little deep. Who were the Trojans? Who were the ancient Greeks? What color should have Brad Pitt and the other guy should have been in that Trojan and ancient Greek battle for Helen? We're going to see that later on. You be the judge. Let's get another book. This is the same book right here. I'm going to go back into the maps. I forgot to show you this right here. Same thing. This is the same book, Annotated Bible with the Apocrypha. Map of ancient Greece, Sparta, Lacedaemon. Right there. Same thing. Same people. The Spartans, Lacedaemon. This is a colony. Like I read earlier, Solomon had many colonies throughout Asia Minor and the Mediterranean. Sparta was one of them. Okay, let's go into the Bible and see. In Ezekiel 27, 17, and 19. So we're going to go into ancient history and check out this whole thing in the Bible. Ezekiel 27, right here. 17. Judah and the land of Israel, they were merchants. They traded in the market wheat of Minnith, Panog and honey, and oil and balm. Jumping 19. Dan also and Javan, going to and fro, occupied in affairs, bright iron, cassia, calamus, were in thy market. So Dan, right, one of the tribes of Israel, the 5th tribe of Israel, and Javan, right, were trading together. Javan is one of the sons of Japhet when you read Genesis 10th chapter. So they were in Europe at this time, and Dan was trading with them because Solomon has sent a contingent of Israelites with Dan running the show, and they colonized that land. Let's see where Javan is in the records. Okay, this is going back to the record book. Javan, where is it at? Area of ancient Greece. Dan was coming from this land of Israel and had a colony in the land of Javan. Javan meaning one of the sons of Japhet who dwelt up in Europe. Okay, and these, okay, you got that? Right. Just let y'all just look at that. Now we're going to go to this excerpt, this guy, and this is other books too, but I got this one quick. The Spartans used the Greek letter lambda, displayed on their shields as identification for their people. Lambda, L, was used as the Spartans to represent Lacedaemon, the home state of their people. So that's why I told you to be aware of these pictures. We've got the L, representing Lacedaemon, their founder and ancient leader of the Spartans, named after his wife, Sparta. You see? That's what the L represents. See the L right there? Lacedaemon, which is brothers, Spartans, brothers to the Jews, sons of Abraham. Let's go in this book, Oxford Bible Atlas, third edition. Okay. Oxford, they're supposed to be smart people. They're supposed to be the ones that know everything. Oxford University Press. Let's go back here to this map. Get a little focus of that. This is ancient Greece. As you see, Lacedaemon, Sparta. Same thing, ancient Greece. See, it was also called Achaia. Achaia is the name of the ancient Greeks that fought against their arch rivals, the Trojans. We're going to get a little deep. Who are the Trojans? Who are the ancient Greeks? What color should have Brad Pitt and the other guy should have been in that Trojan and ancient Greek battle for Helen? We're going to see that later on. You be the judge. Let's get another book. This is the same book right here. I'm going to go back into the maps. I forgot to show you this right here. Same thing. This is the same book, Annotated Bible with the Apocrypha. Map of ancient Greece, Sparta, Lacedaemon. Right there. Same thing. Same people. The Spartans, Lacedaemon. This is a colony. Like I read earlier, Solomon had many colonies throughout Asia Minor and the Mediterranean. Sparta was one of them. Okay, let's go into the Bible and see. In Ezekiel 27, 17, and 19. See, we're going to go into ancient history and check out this whole thing in the Bible. Ezekiel 27, right here. 17. Judah and the land of Israel, they were merchants. They traded in the market wheat of Minnith, Panog and honey, and oil and balm. Jumping 19. Dan also and Javan, going to and fro, occupied in affairs, bright iron, cassia, calamus, were in thy market. So Dan, right, one of the tribes of Israel, the fifth tribe of Israel, and Javan, right, were trading together. Javan is one of the sons of Japhet when you read Genesis 10th chapter. So they were in Europe at this time, and Dan was trading with them because Solomon had sent a contingent of Israelites with Dan running the show, and they colonized that land. Let's see where Javan is in the records. Okay? This is going back to the record book. Javan. Where is it at? Area of ancient Greece. Dan was coming from this land of Israel and had a colony in the land of Javan. Javan meaning one of the sons of Japhet who dwelt up in Europe. Okay? And these were brown-skinned people. The ancient people of this land were the Mysians and the Minoans. And if you look at this page here, this is another book I got right here. So I'm trying to give it to y'all. This is a page from a book called The Cultural Library, Volume 7, Great Events in World History by Edmund A. Brown, 1959-1960. By 2000 BC, a vigorous seafaring people had established themselves on Crete. There, between 2,000 and 14,000, what we're reading about with the other people was like 1,200, because Israel didn't get out of captivity out of Egypt till 1,200 BC. So this is before Israel was even out of captivity. We were in captivity in Egypt during this time. These are the ancient people of Crete, and a great civilization developed, centered in Cretan capital city of Knossos. The Cretans built great palaces, developed a flourishing art, and constructed fleets of merchants, war vessels, ships from Crete sailed over the East Mediterranean, right? And it speaks about the Cretan division as the Minoans. So you had the Minoans, Mysians. Now let's see, these were all the ancient people of Europe. And you would think that these must have been the first white folks, right? Let's see. From small statues and attractively painted murals, it is known that the people of Minoan, right, civilization were small, slender, and dark-skinned with dark, curly hair. The men wore their hair long but shaved their beards from their faces. So the ancient Cretans and Minoans in 2000 BC were brown-skinned people. So this knocks out Japhet being white folks. People, briefly, Japhet were brown-skinned people, ancient Minoans and Mycenaeans. Later on, they were migrated down into Indonesia and the islands of the Pacific, and they were pushed out of there by us, Israelites, as a barbarian and Scythian tribes, as I showed you earlier, and later on by the Romans, who pushed them out of there. Later on, they pushed over to the Far East as the Medes. Mediah, Genesis 10, 1 and 2. Japhet's son Mediah became the Medes, and the Persians got together. Later on, they migrated down to Indonesia, the Java Islands, Javan, and certain areas of Melanesia in the Pacific. But getting back to the Spartans, because I just showed you this, the brown-skinned Danites were down with the brown-skinned people of Javan, who were Japhet, and they were trading together. Now check this out. This is a library excerpt from a library brother sent to me. Bronze Spartan statue wearing a cloak and king's helmet atop braided hair. Just like we saw the picture. Okay, you see that the plume is going from ear to ear. This would be a Spartan king. This is really how King Leonidas should have looked. Okay, check it out. Spartan. What's this L represent? Lambda L, Greek L for Lacedaemon. Okay, it's telling you, Spartan with armor, spear, the L lambda shield, and royal helmet. And they showed the movie how the brothers were like naked fighting. They were dressed in armor. It shows you how they were dressed. But you saw the white man being a freak. They had to make it freaky. And look at this, another Spartan. Spartan bronze figure, 500 BC. Totally armored and running around with underwear and capes. You see? 5th century BC, heavily armored hoplite soldier in marble. Now check this picture out right here. This is a picture of a Spartan warrior. Now this is another excerpt I got from a computer layout. Get this computer ID right here. Sparta, Art of Sparta. Now I got some of the pictures that I just showed you. Same pictures as you see. Now what does this say? A bronze statue of a Spartan wearing a cloak around 500 BC. Same picture. They're totally armored. Spartan hoplite. There's a Lacedaemonian L. But check this one out. Same as this picture right here, right? 5th century BC hoplite or heavily armored soldier, possibly the Spartan king Leonidas, a Dorian who died holding the pass at the Battle of Thermopylae. So he was a Dorian. Let's go into the Dorians. See, we're breaking it down and showing you about these kings and who they really were. This is from a book called Our Descent from Israel Proved. Okay? And the brother gave me this excerpt. He didn't give me the name of the author, but it's page 48. If you find this book, get it for me, because I'd like to have more than this excerpt. Okay, now it says this. This proves who were the Dorians. Colonel Gaius says, it is worthy of note that Danis, who is recorded as landing in Greece from Egypt, was said to be the son of Belus, sometimes spelled Bella, which strongly resembled Bilhah, the name of Jacob's concubine, the mother of Dan. And it said, I'm going to go to the point. These Dorians of Greece crossed from Asia Minor, Western Asia into ancient Alpia, Mysia, and Sparta. These Dorians were Danites, right? And the men of Judah, of the line of Darda. Darda was an Israelite, descendant of Dan, or they were also called Dardanians. So it tells you, hence, the wonderful Doric structures of Europe came largely from the skilled minds of the master masons and mechanics of the Danites. See 2 Chronicles. That's you can read that. Maybe you can find Greek or Latin and find out what that is. But it's 13, 14 verse. Professor E. Odium, National Message and Banner. W. E. Gladstone in his Juvis Mundi tells us that the name Dani is used in the Iliad 147 times, and he connects the Dani of Greece with the Tuatha-De Danann of Northern Ireland, and this confirmed by Irish traditions. So we're showing you how the Dorians came in, conquered the Mysians, took them out, and they set themselves up, and they became known as the Spartans. Their leader was most likely Lacedaemon, but they were called Dorians because you see Leonidas were called a Dorian. Now here, another map. This is from the back of this red Bible, Watchtower Red Bible. In the back it has Javon. So this is another record showing you Javon is Greece. You got that? Get it in the light here. All right. So now this is from another book called The Heritage of the Anglo-Saxon Race by M.H. Geyer. This is history that they don't tell you about in the Bible. The Bible is linked up with the history of Egypt and many different lands. It says by 1296 BC, Dan had a large shipping trade and started conquering and colonizing territory outside Palestine. The book of Joshua, 47 chapter, 19 chapter, 47 verse. The inheritance that fell to this tribe from Ashkelon to Joppa was far too small to satisfy these men of turbulent adventurous spirit. With a short time, therefore, 600 of them with their families marched off towards and conquered Lashim and Laish, right, following their tribal custom, renamed respectively Dan and Manhan-Dan, and after the name of Dan their father. I'm going to jump to the point. The Dan colonists of Laish, Israelites, became the Danites of the north, known to names of Dan, Dardan, and the Danes. So it shows you these names, Israelites, that went up in there and became the Dardanians. We just read Darda coming out of that history. The Great Danes of Europe, the Danish. The rest of the tribe remained south. The south remained south because Dan broke into two groups. One group went over here to Javon, what we read in the Bible. One group stayed in Israel, right, and later went up north and became known as Dan and Danan. Then it says the northern tribes later on did not long remain content with their new territory, right? They later on, now this is the same guy, another one, W.E. Gladstone says the siege of Troy was undertaken by the Dani or Dan settlers in Greece. Siege of Troy. So the Achaeans, Greeks, in the Trojan Wars were what? Danite settlers in Greece against the Dardanii, and that these two peoples were originally one. So these were two Danite families fighting each other right here. The Trojans and the ancient Greeks were two Danites fighting each other. This was back in like the 1200s. Later on, their descendants became the Spartans. That's what I'm showing you. Dislodged from the plains of Troy by the Danite forces of Greece, the Dardanians went to Byzantium. So I'm just showing you the history of how Dan became the ancestors of the Trojans, of the ancient Greeks who fought them, Helen, Achilles. Now let's go, I'm talking now, let's go into the record. Homer, the Iliad, we just mentioned, Dani is mentioned 147 times in the Iliad. Let's go in the Iliad in the glossary and look that up. Actually, you want to look up this name right here. I'm going to link it all back. Okay? Lacedaemon is in the Iliad. City, kingdom of Menelaus in the southern Peloponnesus. Let's look up the word Menelaus. So Lacedaemon is in the Trojan stories of the Iliad. Lacedaemon, as we know, is an ancient name of, or name also of Sparta, which was the leader of the Dorians that came and conquered Greece from the Japhet Mysians and the Javon, who have Japhet. Let's go look at Menelaus. Okay, Menelaus, Achaean. We just read the nation name of Greece was, one of the names of Greece was called Achaea, son of Atreus, king of Lacedaemon, brother of Agamemnon, husband of Helen. So here, Helen of Troy, Agamemnon were all Lacedaemonians coming out of that line. Okay? So now we're going over here to look up this word. Let's go to the Achaeans. The Achaeans, Greeks and their allies against Troy. So now let's look up the Trojans. All in the same book. Who are the Trojans? People of Troy, the allies of Troy, arrayed against the Achaeans. Tros, ancestral king of Troy, son of Ethronimus, father of Ilus. So Ilus goes back to this brother who they named the Iliad after. Troy comes from Tros, an ancient ancestral king of Troy who founded that land, and he was an Israelite, a Danite, because they were both Danite families. Achaeans and Trojans were the same people, Dan, fighting each other. Southern Danites, northern Danites. Troy, capital of Trod, city of Tros, and the Trojans, alternatively named called Ilium, or Iliad, or Ilus. And this was an ancient brother, Etronius, who came out of the line of Tros. So it was Tros named Troy. Troy came out of, Lacedaemon. He had a son called Erythronius. Let's look up Erythronius. Kind of hard to pronounce it, but we're going to look it up. This is black history you'll be learning here. Okay? Let's look this up. Erythronius. Okay. Should have had it marked, but they got to find it. How do we spell that? E-R. Should be over here. Here we go. Erythronius. Right? This is in the Trojan stories of the Iliad. Son of Dardanus, father of Tros, forebearer of the kings of Troy. Remember those names. Dardanus, Tros, Troy. Look up Dardanus. Let's go into it. Okay? Dardanus. Right? Son of Zeus, father of Etronius, forebearer of the Priam and the kings of Troy. Priam was the father of Hector, who fought Achilles. He was a Dardanius. Now, Dardanians, people descended from Dardanus. Okay? So they were called Dardanians. Now you have, we just read in the history here about Dan coming out of, no, here we go, right here. About, look at this. These Dorians were Danites and men of Judah of the line of Darda. See? Or Danans of Argos. The Danans, the Dani. Okay?